We're in the entertainment business as much as anything else. If I had an outsider I'd look at is a European, Serbia have got an outside chance of 50 to 1. People bet on everything from game shows to Big Brother.
Katzy in Rosebank played host to the launch of the first international bookmakers in South Africa. Victor Chandler is a third-generation bookmaker, or bookie, as he's known back home in the UK. He took over from his father at the age of 22. Victor has seen it all, from the early betting days of telephones in betting shops to the revolution of the internet.
It's a business I love, I grew up with now. I've been at it since 1974, it's a long time. That shows how old I am.
Even though Victor Chandler may be far from that spring chicken that came wide-eyed into the industry, he still has a sense of tradition in the way he does business.
Historically, the company has been a credit business where people have built up and owed money. And if you have a financial crash, such as we've been through recently and prior to that in the 90s, you have to have a certain sympathy. I have had people that have come and paid me 10, 12 years after they didn't pay the first time.
Victor has gone to where most betting companies fear to tread. They were one of the first companies to explore the Asian markets and now South Africa. With only days to go before the June 11th kick-off, it could be seen as opportunistic.
We try to take opportunities when they arise. I mean, this is the right time to be here. It's a country that we don't feel is well served by the current bookmakers. We hope the legislation will change and that we'll see casino betting, games, etc., in the next year or two. But, you know, this is going to be one of the biggest events that's ever happened to South Africa from a sporting perspective.
And the 1994 World Cup changed Victor's point of view. Victor told us about the money that was coming in from the Far East in places like Singapore and mainland China, countries with no places to bet legally. In the UK, where most betting companies originate, they charge a 10% tax on turnover, and most gamblers refuse to pay this. Victor had to look for an alternative.
We set up eventually in Gibraltar after looking at the Bahamas, the Isle of Jersey, Guernsey, Isle of Man, all places like that. Gibraltar granted us a license in '96 for the European Cup, and we started operating there, not on the internet but on telephones. In fact, we couldn't even get enough telephones. We were using mobile phones.
Gibraltar had no gaming tax and even lower tax on company profits. So why is Victor Chandler International coming into a country that punts anti-gambling advertisements, South Africa?
There are people, there's an innate desire to make something more interesting, and there's no doubt that if you have a bet on a sporting event, that you'll make it more interesting if you have a bet to yourself.
And he also has plans to tap into other markets in Africa.
We'd hope this would be the hub of the business for the whole of Africa. I mean, we target Nigeria and countries like that, with the wealthier countries in Africa.
Victor Chandler has been giving odds all his life, but is there a science behind this?
We employed odds makers, people that have trained university, and they come out to us as mathematicians and they work out the odds on just about anything. But the market will always dictate the price in the end.
With about a month to kick off, we wanted to know the odds of Bafana Bafana and other favourites.
You're 150 to 1 at the moment. England aren't out of it, I have to say that as an Englishman.
Who's going to get a yellow, score 2010's first World Cup goal? How many corners in the game? Will there be a penalty, and is it going to be a goalless draw? These used to be mere football terms, now they could make you a small fortune.